Your night defines how tomorrow's day would look like. And it's crazy that so many people don't even try to do anything at night. They just use it as time to wind down, to relax. I don't think those are bad things to do, but if you don't think about how your next day would look like, it's going to be really hard to progress. And a lot of people just stay stuck like that. Most people don't even try, or people try too hard and then it gets overwhelming. So I just want to share what's been working with me, and I don't want you to miss out on this because I'm sure there's one thing in here that you can apply tonight or tomorrow and you will see change. The first thing I do is breathe. I understand that it's fine if it's not perfect. You don't always have to get 8 hours of sleep. You don't always have to not go on your phone the last hour or not eat anything the last hour. Stuff is going to happen and it won't be perfect. Accepting that makes you feel a lot calmer and reasonable when things don't work out how you expect it to. Because it's never going to be 100% all the time. You're never always going to be asleep by 9 p.m. and then wake up at 5 a.m., however you want it to be. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try to make it perfect. And the second thing which helps me is having no screens in the evenings. I once had a day where I spent 24 hours with no screens. No phone, no TV, no computer to do work on, nothing. And that was probably one of the longest evenings of my life because I had so much time to do other things. I read a new book. I was able to do things that I never would have thought I've done. And I just looked over, like cleaning my room or spending more time offline to just think about what I can do in my life. And I understand that having 24 hours of no screens can't be done every single day. So the least you can do is just not have blue light, turn on the night mode for your phone, lower the brightness, try to do this. The next thing I love doing is idea maxing, basically planning out what I can do in the future, my thoughts, my to-do lists, all of that stuff in the evening. Just having a journal where I can just write what I want to do. If you don't spend as much time on screens and you do this instead, you'll have a lot more ideas of what you can do, action steps, and literally just write down what you're thinking so you can see it right on a piece of paper and it's not just lost somewhere in your mind. You can tangibly, visibly see what is going on in your life and you can kind of work around it and plan how you can go about it. It's powerful, and if you spend some quality time, it doesn't have to be long, trying to do this, it'll help so much. The next thing, which I think is pretty important, is reading, but not some self-help book or something like that, but just a book about any other thing. For example, I have this book, it's about the lost art of reading nature's signs, and it's just how to spot things in nature, like what does it mean when the sun is out and you put your finger over it, you could see the air quality, or if you can tell which way the wind is blowing based on the trees. You can tell what's going on around you by the birds outside. All of those interesting things that enhance your life, not in a way where you can try to be more productive, but just makes the days more interesting. You learn more things outside of meditating and drinking water. I feel like a lot of that basic stuff, a lot of people already know. It's just you have to do it. You have to apply it. You probably already know how you can feel more confident or how you can build more muscle. You just have to work out and stuff. You just have to apply what you already know. So that's why I highly recommend reading books about things that you don't know, that you truly do not know. the answer to. And it makes reading a lot more interesting. You actually feel like you're learning a lot more, and then you can apply it just by going outside and testing those things. Like now I can find the North Star when it's dark outside in the night, and all of those interesting things. Which leads me to my next point, going outside at night. It feels great. Bonus points if you're barefoot. I'm literally barefoot right now. I won't show you my feet, but I'll show you the sandal that I have, my other one's right there, of my feet. If you're with your friends playing something like hide and seek outside in the night, it's pretty fun. And it's a lot better than just scrolling on your phone when you could spend those minutes being outside. And if scrolling screen time is seriously something you're looking to reduce, apply in the link in the description to get a step-by-step roadmap and guidance from me. The next thing which really helped me go to bed, because one of the things that I've struggled with a lot is falling asleep. I just lay in bed sometimes for 30 minutes, an hour, maybe even longer. And I'm just thinking, my mind is racing. I can't fall asleep. I'm still thinking about this and that. And it sucks even more because then I get stressed or worried that, oh, I didn't get my 8 hours of sleep because I'm still awake and it's, I don't know, 11:30 and I wanted to already be snoozing, catching Z's at 11, but it's already 11:30 and oh, I'm just thinking about this and this and this, and oh, I'm already not gonna sleep well, and then it just gets me more and more riled up, which just makes it harder and harder to sleep. But when I've let myself be like, okay, I don't have to get 8 hours on the dot every day. It could be like 7 hours, 30 minutes, 7 hours, and then another day I get 8 hours and 30 minutes. It, like I said in the beginning, it doesn't have to be perfect. And when I've tried to not be a perfectionist, which is something I'm still working on, it feels like I'm able to calm down. I can sleep peacefully knowing that it's fine, I didn't get 8 hours on the dot. Still have a reasonable time where you go to sleep frequently, but don't worry if you go to sleep late one day. You spend a night out and you can't fall asleep right away, you know, stuff like that. It's only gonna be worse if you worry about it, so don't worry about it. It's fine. The next thing, which I think is really underrated, is massaging. I have a lacrosse ball that I just rub on my feet, put my back against the wall, and just go like up and down with the lacrosse ball, and it just rubs into my muscles. It feels really great. It calms me down and allows me to sleep better. It's also really good for you. The next thing, having stories to write down in the journal that you have about things that happened in the day. So yesterday or 2 days ago, I had a chess tournament, and writing about that, how there was a lot of good people, how I was able to win a few games. It felt really great, and it makes you happier that it feels like you're living your life when you have those stories, those cool, fun stories. Another thing I like to do when I'm going to bed is visualizing what the future might look like. I remember for so long I visualized having 100,000 subscribers and having the plaque, having it in my room, just sitting there when I'm chilling. And now it's a reality. Because I feel like visualizing really helps, because it not only motivates you, yada, 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 blah, 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 but you start believing that it's true. And then you become the person who would have that 100,000 subscribers or whatever the thing you're visualizing is. And then you act more like that person who would have those goals that you visualize. And then you're more likely to do the actions that a person who had that goal would do. And then that's how you get there faster. And The 10th thing that I have to say is set your alarm later, kind of like what I said previously. You don't have to be perfect with sleep, but still sleep. But don't worry if you get 7 hours and 30 minutes or 8 hours and 30 minutes instead of 8 hours. So if you can, set your alarm 30 minutes later. Because if you sleep longer, you'll have 30 minutes or an hour less of the day, but those hours will be so much more of quality. Number 11 will really help if you're like me and struggle falling asleep right away. Your mind is racing, a million thoughts. It seems like all the thoughts just happen at night. And if you're like me, what helps is reading a book, taking my mind off something and just focusing on this book where I'm learning some interesting things, like how to assess nature or how to read the stars. It keeps my mind off things that I'm either worrying about or that's going to happen tomorrow. I did this a few days ago when I was worrying about a lacrosse game that I had. And I was stressing about it like, oh, they're a good team. We're probably going to lose, yada, yada. And literally whatever I thought about did not matter because it wasn't happening right now. I was trying to sleep, not play lacrosse. But what I did was read that book, and that book took my mind off of the lacrosse. And as I was reading it, I got more and more naturally tired, and then I just put it down and went back to sleeping like I normally did. And the 12th thing I want to mention, which kind of goes along with the thinking, overthinking at night, is you'll cross that bridge when you come to it. You'll deal with the game when you're playing the game. You'll worry about whatever goes on whenever it goes on. But when you sleep, you are trying to sleep. When I do get some interesting idea at night, I like to have a notebook right next to my bed so I can immediately just turn on my little night light and write it down, turn it off. Sometimes I've literally slept with my journal like on me because I'm just like, oh, let me think of an idea. That's another way I kind of take my mind off racing thoughts, is that I just think of like, oh, what can I do tomorrow which would make it cool? And then I'm just thinking, and then I just get too tired and I fall asleep. Another thing which I didn't really mention in the evenings, spend time with family. And the 15th thing I have to say is, if you're genuinely serious about reducing the time you go on your phone and replace that with more meaningful things, if you want a clear path to follow with step-by-step guidance to get over 28 hours or more of screen time a week, get that back, apply in the link in the description, and join the free community if you want as well. Have a great day. Good night.